fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils, and we seen the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high was the devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. I ain't have to die to meet the devil.
I remember I was only 13 when I met the demon. Gave me a deuce and a bundle of cocaine. Told me to sell to my people, make sure you keep it feeling. If you remember I was only 13 when I met the demon. Gave me a deuce and a bundle of cocaine. Told me to sell to my people, make one me and lock up. He said, don't you want the Benz vertical with the top? Especially when it's pop up, I know you know. Who the plug from by the block up? I'll tell you a little secret, make sure that you keep your mouth shut. Ron got a Lexus, crib in Philly and Texas. Tripping up Bahamas, got it for his mama. He fucking up them comments, be honest, he's seeing decent though. I hear you, but I just seen Ron about a week ago. Fat, he ain't looking too good, his knees is kinda slow. I asked him why the struggle, he got stuck up for his bundle. But them 6 hollow tips in his legs would've made him crumble. At least he got a house and mama is living good. Said the feds took it all, you right back in the hood. I see you try blaming, you gave us crack in the 80s. Made us abort our babies and making hoes out of our ladies. I know you got me gravy, but Satan, you must be crazy. It's gonna take more than balls, but to amaze me. I seen niggas shoot for the stars, but being lazy. Never get their head at the clouds. Remember I said it, nah, you could get it. What you saying, I can't win? Nah, devil, nice try, so until we meet again.
I ain't have to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils, and we seen the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high was the devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. I ain't have to die to meet the devil. I ain't religious or superstitious, but we've been getting fucked and put to the side like a mistress. Police patrol the locked us, prison became a business. They murder one of us, they start talking about forgiveness. We think that it's alright because we got public assistance. If this ain't hell, dog, what is this? Where was all lives mattered when they killed Osama? There was no peace talk like the Dalai Lama. Bush dropping bombs saying he gon' bring the drama. They got justice, man, they even caught the Boston bomber. But when we ride, they send the military in armor. When we train, our people die martyr. You reap what you sow, some people call it karma. When Christ return, y'all gon' get this harvest like a farmer. Don't tell me don't bring up the past no more. They still trying to set the score with a side of Shakur. I changed my life and I'm just trying to live life right. But at night I look behind me and see flashing lights, patting me down. You got nothing that's poking me right. I don't smoke or push pills, I keep up my fight. So Mr. Officer, why you wanna take my life? And your honor, why you gave a homeboy's life? I've been wondering why you shot a homeboy twice. Pussy with a gun screaming out that he got a knife. He came from my baby's spot, it was chicken and rice. Shit's tripe, I'm just giving visuals like Skype. Ask Trayvon, Mike Brown, like Hot Girlie, Eric Garner, Sean Bell, Philando, Olden, Sterling, Jabbar McDonald. The white man is so devilish. Ask Hammurabi, he'll tell you who the devil is. The white man is so devilish. Ask Hammurabi, he'll tell you who the devil is. I ain't have to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils, and we seen the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high was the devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. I ain't have to die to meet the devil. I ain't have to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils, and we seen the rise of the devil. I pray for the demise of the devil. Lord knows I despise every devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. Said I pray for God every devil.
Because I'm willing to fight against drug dealers if they Muslim, if they Christian, if they atheist, if they Buddhist, if they young black men. Guess what? I'm gonna say something about it. Because you know why? Just like you ain't going, like your boy said, it ain't gonna happen. Guess what? I'm not letting nobody sell you drugs without.
message harder, I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Links to the crowd, no, I'm Alexander, he's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody greater. I'm Sonny Liston, I'm Jack Clifton, there's no one like I'm from there. There's no one that can match me.
Affiliation, why they take it? This ain't for the bait. Need a relay, probably imitation. I be contemplating while they saying like heavy rotation on radio stations. I just pray the Lord give me patience. Cause I'm running through the rapper like my name was a bait. Shitting.
You turn the volume down on that.
All right. Shalom, Israel, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua. My sister Yahweh Shamar, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua. Priest Officer Kwamgwan. This is the Pittsburgh class, Thursday night. This is under commanding General Yohana. Of course, we're not affiliated with no other Hebrew Israelite groups. Been teaching this truth since 1969. And today we're gonna get into Israel's lack of knowledge. All right, our lack of knowledge about the scriptures, the laws, statutes, commands, and so forth. All right, so let's get right into it. The first scripture we're going to pull is Zephaniah 2:1. Zephaniah 2:1. Anytime if any of you want to use this, you can use this. See? Hear me? Y'all need that. All right, so let's get to it.
I got it.
One second. Let me catch up to you. All right. All right, go ahead. Nice and loud.
All right, yep. The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1.
Mhm.
Gather yourselves together. Ye gather together, O nation not desired.
Right, of course. Okay, so Zephaniah 2:1. Gather yourselves together. Yeah, gather together, O nation not desired. Okay, first of all, who's it speaking to?
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right, always, right? Okay. And there's a lot of reasons why we need to gather ourselves together. Anybody want to take a shot at why we need to gather ourselves together?
Because a part we're weaker in a sense.
Say that again.
A part we're, in a sense, weaker.
Yeah, that's actually a good answer, right? Yeah, I mean, we are weaker because we're not together. And of course, a house divided cannot stand, right? So as a nation, we are weak. And what's the main reason why we're weak right now?
Because we're not following the laws and the commandments.
Right. So, of course, because we're not keeping God's laws, statutes, and commands, we are weak as a people, and our God is not fighting for us. And when our God's not fighting for us, what happens? We're being attacked or being, preyed on by other nations. And this is happening. This has been happening for over 400 years here in America, but it's been happening longer than that. And every time we, got preyed on by these other nations and took on the customs of these other nations and, not follow our God, we've been destroyed as a people. And that's why we're in this here in America is the last captivity. And we've been in captivity numerous times. And it's because we haven't, kept the law, statutes, and the command. So, of course, when it says gather yourselves together, you gather together, O nation not desired. Of course, the nation is Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the Israelites, the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right. And like I said, like we always bring up, how do I know that we are not desired here in America? Anybody want to give me some answers on that? How are we not desired? What's the proof of that?
We're in poverty.
Right. That's right. That's a good one. Give me some more.
And we're being killed and attacked every day.
Right. The police is killing us. We're killing each other because we don't know any better. We're not following our God. We're not keeping our laws, statutes, and commands. So we're hating our own brothers and sisters. We're being attacked by the enemy. So you figure, not only are we being attacked by the enemy, we're attacking each other. So it's everyone's against us and we're against us. So we got the double sword, you understand? Because there's nobody here to protect us or to help us, you know what I mean? And again, the only help we have is these scriptures, these law, statutes, and commands. So of course, like we get into before, blacks, Hispanics, and natives, Indians are the lowest in all, you know what I mean? As far as employment rate, we're the lowest, right? You know what I mean? Again, 1 in every 1,000 black men will be killed by the police, right? Black and Hispanic offenders will get arrested, go to jail. 19.1% will be in jail 19.1% longer than white people. So if you commit a crime as a black or Hispanic, but a white man commit the same crime, he's not going to do the same amount of time you are. You're going to do more time than him. I mean, there's been plenty, examples of that. I mean, a brother committed crime, a small petty, even petty crimes, they do years for that. White man can get away with murder, rape and all types of things, and he can get probation, get an ankle bracelet, and be in the house for a year. You know what I mean? This is the type of things that happen in America. I just let you know that you're not desired. This is not your kingdom, and this is, like I said, you're never going to be treated like how the oppressor is. All right. How about 99 million of your ancestors in the transatlantic slave trade or the Middle Passage, right? That's how you're not desired. When I speak about being not desired, I'm talking about the bad things that have befallen us here in America. Like, let you know that you're not, a people here that other nations are fond of. You understand? Because all the negative things come to you. You don't get the same punishments, the same, I guess you get the same lifestyle, whatever, the other nations get here in America. You get treated altogether differently, right? So, it says the slave trade was likely the most costly and inhuman life of all, long distance global migration. I mean, that slave trade was like the wickedest thing that could ever happen to any people. You can't compare nothing to the slave trade. They try to compare the Holocaust of the Jewish man. You know what I mean? They try to say other nations were in slavery. They try to they talk about what else they talk about? Like, there's other nations going through, little things, but nothing compares to what our nation has went through. You know what I mean? Nothing compares to that, right? So, and then how about on average, they're saying about 80,000 people were carried into America. I think it was per month or per year? I want to say it was a month. Maybe a year. I'm not exactly certain on that, but about 80. Just imagine in a slave trade, 80,000 blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians were moved, brought over here into America, at a time. I can't remember if it was a month or what it was, but I know it's like 80,000 to like 100,000. All right. So, and they were mainly carried into the Caribbean, like, the little islands or whatnot. You know what I mean? They, the first, some of the first slaves or whatever. And then of course, a lot of us left mainly from West Africa, like the west coast of Africa. All right. So, and of course, the Middle Passage, it was, it was very dangerous. There weren't many survivors. You know what I mean? There was a lot of casualties in that Middle Passage. A lot of us didn't make it over here safely. They, what I'm saying, like the sexes, they were separated. You had men, women, and children. They were kept naked, right? They were naked, like, on these slave ships. The men, you see the pictures of them packed in like sardines, like, on top of each other, vomiting on each other, going to the bathroom on each other. You know what I mean? A lot of people died just from that alone. You know what I mean? Just from, traveling and being not small, just how we talked about earlier when you said about, you about to go to college and you're going to be in a room, close to somebody. But just imagine, you traveling hundreds of thousands of miles with somebody laying on top of you practically. And you know what I mean? And they're going to the bathroom, vomiting, you know what I mean? So just imagine that you would die just off of that experience. You know what I mean? So, because of course they were packed like sardines and chained for long periods of time. They said about 12% of those didn't make it. Like, you know what I mean? So they put them on the boat and they brought, to bring us over here, but a lot of us didn't make it. You know what I mean? So that's not. I'm going back to say that just let you know that we're not, we're not desired here. You know what I mean? In America, we're just not desired. Read that again from the top for me. 7-9-2-1.
Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Right. So I don't know if do you guys remember a couple years ago, I think it was about 2-3 years ago, the woman down at Pizza Malone downtown got jumped and beat up. Well, not jumped, but beat up by the owner and the Milano. He was like some Palestinian or something, or Arab or something, and he beat the black female up. Sister, her name was Jade Morton. She was in there, I guess, eating or whatever. They had some type of argument or whatever, but he beat her up basically. It was a grown man beat up a woman. Choked her up, slammed her like she was a man, and he beat her up. That's my point is that I tell you that we're not desired here, whether it's a man, woman, or child. They feel the same way about all of us. It doesn't matter. Listen, you as a man or a young man, you would never, because you know better, but you would never beat up a woman. You know what I mean? You would never, more than likely you would just walk away or just, turn your face, you know what I mean? Whatever. But for a grown man to actually fight a woman and beat her up, like I'm talking about, like he's fighting her like a man, like, you know what I mean? That just goes to show you, like, they have no respect for you. You know what I mean? They just have they don't care if you're a female or not. They will beat you, like, a man of another nation will attack our women. That just goes to show you. Yeah, of course, we talked about Antoine Rose Jr. He got shot in the back running from the police. He wasn't running towards the police. He wasn't wasn't dangerous, anything. He was a 15, 16-year-old kid. You know what I mean? 17 at the most, ran away with his back turned, running. And for some reason, that coward cop, Michael Rossfield, just shot at him and killed the young boy. That should tell you that, and may he rise again, but that should tell you that we're not desired here. That should tell you. If the oppressor, the white man who's a devil, could do that to a 15-year-old boy running away from him, that should tell you that who they are. They're, the devil that the Bible speaks about. And and like I said, that's not the first situation. Of course, we know about George Floyd, being suffocated right there for the world to see. There's many others. There's many others. You know what I mean. Over time, we'll talk about them. You know what I mean. So, like I said, you gather together by, you know what I mean, being a brother and sister to your nation. You know what I mean, and you follow Yahushua, who's Christ, right? Because Yahushua, of course, is follows the Most High. So that's how you're on one accord when you're following Yahushua. You're following the Most High too, because of course Yahushua was the the example that you're supposed to follow, right? Being accord means keeping His law, statutes, and commands, right? So the other nations are like predators, and the Lord considers us His sheep, right? So you got what do predators or wolves or animals do to sheep? What do?
Hunt them down.
Right.
Eat them.
Right. I don't know if you know, but like it's like poison dart frogs, right? And salamanders, millipedes, they have like poison like on their skin or something to protect them from being attacked. So when you think about us, our protection or poison against these other nations is what? That Bible. You see what I'm saying? It's not how tough you are or what I mean, what you think it's that Bible. Keep the law, statutes, and commands. That's your protection from all the other nations. All right. That's your what I mean? That's your so-called poison if you want to use it, we're just comparing. But so this Bible, you can't get away from it. This is our protection. If you think you know everything, you think you can do it without the Bible, we've proved that we can. Because the Bible is the only way you know what's wrong or what's right. How else would you know that? If you would just go on your own and just think this is right and this is wrong, you know what I mean? You would be wrong probably most of the time. You would do, things in your flesh, things that you want to do carnally, and you would think they're right and they're not. So the Bibles that we can't do with this Bible, you know what I mean? And then the lack of knowledge of this Bible is what's killing us. You know what I mean? It's our major problem. So give me that one more time again from the top.
Gather yourselves together. Yeah, gather together, O nation not desired.
Right. Again, these laws, statutes, and commands is your protection, in this hell in America and all over the world. And like I said, there's no getting around it. All right. So give me somebody get me Nehemiah 9:2. Nehemiah 9:2. And we're gonna talk about what you need to do while you're in this nation, okay? Somebody get me Nehemiah 9:2. Young man Isaiah, you can chime in as well. Nehemiah 9:2.
Nehemiah 9:2.
Speak up. Come on.
Man, it's just like my song.
So speak up.
And the seed of Israel separate themselves from all strangers.
All right. Say that again. Just that part.
And the seed of Israel separate themselves from all strangers.
Okay. So in the seed of Israel, Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians separated themselves from all strangers. All right. That's key, because no matter where you're at, you have to separate yourselves from these other nations. It's your only protection. And later on, we're going to speak about, like Jim Crow and like a situation in history where Blacks, Hispanics did separate from other people. And like I said, it's Nehemiah 9:2. And the seed of Israel separated themselves from all strangers. Okay. So of course, strangers are what?
The other nations.
Right. Okay. So Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians separated from other nations, right? All right. Now the reason why we need separation is, it's good for our well-being. But of course, we know our leaders, so-called Christian leaders, pastors and whatnot, they have taught us, they have taught us the error, they have sold us out, for money and wealth and whatnot. And they keep, they got us practicing the things of the heathens round about us, right? Okay, so people like Dr. Martin Luther King, of course, who would fantasize about little white boys and little black boys and little white girls and vice versa, holding hands or whatever, right? And of course he wanted to set up the devil's table as equals. So first of all, we're not supposed to, integrate with any other nation. And to think that, and you're a fool if you think that you're going to actually be equal to the white man here in America. It's never going to happen. If if this has been going on for over 400 years, close to 500 years, what makes you think anything's going to change now? It's not going to change, all right? So, and Dr. Martin Luther King himself even said before he, got up out of here, he said that he felt like he led his people into a burning house, meaning the whole movement that he did, the civil rights movement, he knew it was just basically a vain, thing, and it didn't work. He just got a lot of his people, hurt. You know what I mean? So he even admitted that out of his own mouth. All right. He also thought that it was a problem. Like one of the things he said when he was younger was he said that he used to want to go into it wasn't good enough for him to be in the black pools. Like he wanted to go be in the pools with the white people. You see what I'm saying? Like he wanted to go. It wasn't good enough for him to eat at the black restaurants. He wanted to go eat at the restaurants with the white people. See, that spirit of wanting to integrate with other people is what hurt us. You see what I'm saying? And so, and after we integrated, it was failure to us. You know what I mean? It destroyed us even more. You know what I mean? So like here, I know the pool in where we're at, like here in Pittsburgh, like Dormont. Dormont has a nice pool, right? I know it might be a little, it might be a bigger or more extravagant than the pool in Highland Park or a pool in Homewood or something like that. But the bottom line is that's where your people is, and you might, you want to be around your people, eat with your people, swim with your people, live amongst your people, and do everything with you, spend your money with your people, because it builds up. It's for our nation. You understand? So as much as you might think it might be better on the other side, it's not. You know what I mean? You want to be around your people. All right. So of course, you don't want to give it away like Martin Luther King or Michael King is what his real name is. You don't want to give it away like him. All right. So, and of course, Jim Crow, for real, Jim Crow laws was like the best thing that ever happened to us. That was like, segregation laws where, they would say blacks couldn't drink at this water fountain, blacks couldn't shop at this restaurant and whatnot. But really, separation is what helped us in a certain point. Now, we'll get into that too. I don't know if you ever heard of the Tulsa riots, like the massacre that happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You ever heard about it? Okay, we're gonna look at a little bit into that. They said it was in a place in the Greenwood district in Oklahoma. All right, it was a place where black people flourished. It was like all black. Like I mean, like as far as the little town, everything was black owned. Black shopping, black schools, bus companies, everything was black. Like it, I mean, black people owned it. And I'm gonna give you a book. We're gonna read a little bit of it. All right. So, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna get my slot. I'm gonna grab this book right here. All right. Put that for me. All right. Take that back. All right. And I want you to go ahead and all right, get me in that book. Go to page 6, and you'll see where and again, we're talking about, our lack of knowledge of, of what we need to do to keep these laws, statutes, and commands, but the separation, us understanding that separation is the best thing for us. You know what I mean? This was a time when we separated from other nations, and it benefited us. All right. So on page 6, the big body of paragraph where it starts to orange, start reading that. You can read that for me.
In 1889.
Stick it to the mic so we can hear.
In 1889,
Right.
the aforementioned Oklahoma land rush was important for the future of Greenwood.
Oh, read down to the next paragraph.
Next paragraph.
Down there where it's highlighted all orange, where it starts.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Important for the future of Greenwood, since this was O.W. Gurley. When O.W. Gurley arrived at the then Indian Territory.
Mm-hmm. See, because before people started to come there, it was Indian territory. It was the natives' territory. That's what you gotta understand. All this land and like especially like down there in the South, Oklahoma, places like that, that was all Indian territory. But what did they do? The white man came in, kicked them off their land, murdered, raped them, put them on the reservations, and just took over their land. So that was I believe that the nation's called the Creek Nation, or a Muskogee Nation, or Creek Nation. That was the natives that were on that land. That's their land. That whole Oklahoma, like that's a part of Oklahoma, that was their land. Go ahead, keep going.
Gurley was an African American landowner and successful entrepreneur from Arkansas.
Arkansas. Go ahead.
Who had proved instrumental in developing Black Wall Street.
Right. See, Black Wall Street. Keep going. That's where you ever hear about Wall Street? Like now, today, they talk about Wall Street. That's where they get the white man. That's where he gets the idea from. It was Black Wall Street. We started that. See, I didn't tell you that, but go ahead.
Gurley first settled on a plot some 80 miles west of Tulsa.
Right.
For around a decade, he worked as a local school principal and ran a store.
Mm-hmm.
In 1906, there was a turning point when he moved to Tulsa and purchased a 40-acre piece of land for his new business ventures.
Okay.
Gurley was prompted to move to Tulsa because of the city's economic boom in the early 20th century.
Right.
Like many other folks during that time, Gurley envisaged selling and renting bits of his newly acquired land only to Black people.
Right. Only to who?
Black people.
Only to who?
Black people.
See, he kept it. He's black and he kept it black. You see what I'm saying? This is what we got to do, people. Go ahead, keep going.
Turning the area into a haven for Black business.
Mm-hmm.
As such, Gurley's vision was very much in line with the initiatives of Booker T. Washington.
Right. Keep going.
On this plot of land, Gurley first established a rooming house for Black folks.
So this is like what you would call like hotels and stuff like that, rooms, like, you know what I mean, where Black people could stay. He charge them or whatnot, and he does. Come, you'll see, he does. Eventually, he does open up a hotel and whatnot. But keep going.
Built along a dirt road near the train tracks,
Mm-hmm.
which would eventually come to be known as Greenwood Avenue.
Right.
In keeping with his dream of turning Greenwood into a city for Black people and by Black people, Gurley also provided affordable loans to Black entrepreneurs
You
who
see?
came to there.
Right. So if you had an idea, you were a Black entrepreneur who wanted to start some type of business, he would give you a loan to start it. And back then, you got to understand, today there's millionaires, or there's people who work hundreds of millions of dollars. Back then, he was a millionaire, and that was a long time ago when $1 million was like a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like back then, I think one of these guys, their hotel was like $75,000 or something like that, which would be $3 million today. So back then, he was a millionaire. You know what I mean? There was a lot of them. There was more than one. There was a lot of Blacks that had money like this, and they were doing big things. Keep going.
loans to Black entrepreneurs who came to the area with their business ideas.
Right.
It didn't take long for people to spread the word of the opportunities that were available to Black people in this region.
All right, now go down to the next highlighted orange. I don't know if it's on that page or the next page.
In time, Gurley also built 2 sizable buildings and numerous residences, in addition to acquiring more land, particularly in Rogers County.
All right, go to the next highlighted orange. It might be on the next page, I'm not sure.
He helped establish, or you said that like very next one.
Whatever the orange is highlighted in orange. Go to it.
He helped establish many important facets of the emerging community, such as the local church. Ironically enough, segregation in Greenwood played a role in its development.
Read that again. Ironically, what?
Ironically enough, segregation.
What did?
Segregation.
What did?
Segregation.
What did?
Segregation.
Being separate from other nations. Go ahead.
And Greenwood played a role in its development.
See? And pause right there. Because we are so afraid that to leave our master, the white man, we're afraid to leave, and we think that everything we do, he got to be involved in it. But he's telling you right there, and this is telling you that when we separated from these other people, that's when we blossomed. That's when we became, that's when, Tulsa, Oklahoma became what it became, because we got away from doing anything with them. We did everything amongst our own, our own people. And that's what, segregation is. See, people today, we've been so brainwashed to think that we need them, or they need to be a part of everything that we do, because we're mental slaves today. But actually, Jim Crow, segregation, separation, that is exactly what we need. We need to get away from them. And physically, it doesn't mean that you have to get up and go move to Africa. That's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about you got to put a dashiki on, scream black power this and black power that, and go to Africa and think that you're going to run away from the white man. No, because guess what? The white man runs that too. But your mind, where you're at, you change your ways. You listen to the Most High's law, statutes, and commands. That's how you get away from him. You understand that? So, and deal with your own. You know what I mean? Love your own. Treat your own with respect. Show mercy on your own people. All right? Keep going.
Which historians like Johnson also outline. Not only did segregation and oppression elsewhere in America force Black people into Greenwood, but the Jim Crow laws in Oklahoma, in some ways, stimulated Greenwood's economic growth.
Right. See, Jim Crow law. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, you think we need him, and we don't. If he's out of the picture, we can deal with each other and do everything on our own. We don't need him. There's more how to go to the highlight again. Keep reading.
Soon enough, the segregation and economic activity of the Black culture in Greenwood drew the boundaries of the district, which remains more or less the same today. Black Wall Street found itself between the Frisco Tracks and Archer Street to the south, Pine Street to the north, Lansing Street to the east, and Cincinnati Street to the west. Early on in these ventures, Gurley came into contact with another Black entrepreneur by the name of J.B. Stratford.
All right, so here's another man. Now, we just talked about Gurley. So here's Stratford. All right, give it to him so he can read the rest. Show him where you're at. And speak it to them. If you need the other mic to speak up, take that mic, but speak up so we can hear. And take your time.
He moved to Tulsa in 1899. Like Gurley, Stratford was also a child of a former slave. Despite his difficult beginnings, Stratford managed to graduate from Oberlin College and acquire a law degree in India. Stratford spent some time as a businessman in St. Louis before moving to Tesla, where he sought to make a living by building properties that weren't down. One of his major building endeavors in Tesla was the Stratford Hotel.
All right, hold on. The Stratford Hotel. See that? See that Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man? We had our own hotels, our own businesses, own everything. This is. I know it seems like it's impossible because today you tell me where a Black hotel is. Somebody tell me where one is. Tell me where a Black owned anything is. Tell me. Can you think anything?
No idea.
You might see a little corner hole in the wall store that sells cigarettes and pop and beer and shit. You know what I mean? Something like that a Black person might run, but you ain't as far as major businesses or something like that, like a hotel or a bank, you're not going to see that. You may see something. You may see a barbershop that might be owned by a black man. You can see that, but there ain't many, right? But this man, J.B. Stratford, had a hotel. So the Gurley did too. You know what I mean? But go ahead, keep going.
A 50 4-room establishment in the jewel of Greenwood Avenue.
Okay. Go to wherever the next highlighted orange is.
The 1915.
Let's go. Speak up. Slow down. Speak up.
By 1915, Forbes estimates Gurley's wealth was
150,000. Yeah.
Which would amount to nearly $3 million nowadays.
See, well, yeah, 150 would be $3 million. Go ahead. Go to whatever I highlighted, the big body highlight, because there's more people to talk about. There's like one more person to talk about.
The rest of the African American community had to endure more problems after the massacre in Tulsa, where their attempts to rebuild their own partial community were met by resistance by authorities and locals.
All right, go to the next one, to a guy by the name of A.J. Smitherman. Something about the Tulsa Star. It might be on the next page. I'm not sure.
A.J. Smitherman, a publisher.
All right, read that louder.
A.J. Smitherman, who moved into the area in the late 1890s, established Tesla Star, a black newspaper.
A what?
A Tesla Star.
And what is it called? A what? What was it?
A Tesla Star.
And what is it? What is it?
A black newspaper.
A what? Slow down. I want people to hear this. A what?
A black newspaper.
A what?
A black newspaper.
Okay, you see that? Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. A.J. Smitherman had the Tulsa Star. It was a black newspaper. Think about that. You know any black newspapers now? But guess what happened? Integration, people like Martin Luther King, is why we don't have that now. Because we integrated with them, and then what happened? They own everything now. They everything that you do, your schools you go to, you're in their schools. Their religious sects, their religious, churches and whatnot. That's their sect or their churches. You know what I mean? Everything that you do is theirs. But you're gonna see, but you'll find out that later on, basically when we had, all this going on in Tulsa, Oklahoma, that the white man got mad. Anybody want to take a guess what he did?
Probably went in there and started a massacre.
He burned. There's a lot of things they say about what happened, but they rioted the streets. So they were going to buildings, burning them up. They killed, of course, a lot of people, and there was even planes flying over the city or whatever, dropping bombs on things. You know what I mean? Or shooting things down, whatever. So all the buildings, all these places like the Tulsa Star, the hotels, all the things that the black people own, destroyed. And you know what it started from? Anybody want to take a guess? If anybody can get this, I'll empty out my bank account to you right now. If you can get it. What started it?
I want to say money. Am I getting close like money?
No, and I'm glad you didn't get it because I'd have had to pay you. No. So I take another guess. You know what I mean? Take another guess. What do you think about some of the things that happen in the world? And who is always behind something like this happening or something happening to people?
Someone getting arrested.
Say it again.
Someone getting arrested.
You say molested?
Arrested.
Arrested. No. You're getting there, but it's not that. Think about it. Think about people. What you think? All right, there's a group, a mob of angry Edomites. Mm-hmm. They're already mad because black people are flourishing and doing better than them. They can't understand it. Black people are living in luxury. They having the time of their life, so they're pissed. And then you have these black people over here. But when you have a city of a lot of people together, what do people usually do?
Stay together.
Well, you have people in the city.
Mm-hmm.
People see other people, and what happened?
They interplay or they communicate.
That's okay.
Oh, I got it.
Go ahead.
They mix race, not mix race.
Right now, right, they did integrate. Well, you're on it and he's on it. So give me a little more though. What did the so-called white man or the Edomites use as their motivation to go and burn all the stuff up, all the people's stuff up?
Probably a white woman or something.
Say it again.
A white woman or something.
Pick up the microphone. They did what?
A white woman or something.
Right. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of similar. There was a young man. The girl's name is Sarah something. It was a young black man. He got on the elevator and he supposedly tripped and like bumped into the white woman. She screamed out loud or something like that. They were supposed. I don't know how 100% sure it is, but supposedly they might have been dating or something like that. Well, anyway, but supposedly she screamed out, and of course, some white people, you know what I mean, said, "Oh, he attacked her." But you know what they're really saying is it was set up. They're saying that girl was there for a reason, and they was going to set it up so they can use that as the reason to go destroy their neighborhood. You see what I'm saying? But the bottom line is a white woman. You see what I'm saying? And this is a lesson, because if you date outside your race, they're probably going to do one or two things. They're going to, you know what I mean, put you in a situation like that where it's going to anger, you know, other people or their people, or they're going to put you in jail. And back in the day, we know what happened to Emmett Till, right? So, but just think about this. The whole Tulsa, Oklahoma was set on fire, and the start of it was because some white woman screaming. You see what I'm saying? That's the spirit of the devil right there, because that's what they do. That's what they do. And there is no proof that this man did anything, but that's what they use as the starter for them to go and burn up Tulsa, Oklahoma. So that's basically what happened. So, but to get back to the point, we separated from other people. We did what we needed to do as far as being a nation amongst each other. We invested in each other. We did business with each other, and we didn't integrate, and we were successful. But thanks to Martin Luther King or Michael King, civil rights movement, little white boys and little white girls can hold hands. And then not only that, you want to go jump in the pool in the white neighborhood, like I said, separation is key for us to succeed here in America. Separation. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that you gotta, be violent against Esau or any other nations. It just means be about your people. All right. Racism is in the Bible. And to be a racist just means you're just about your people. All right, which is there's nothing wrong with being about your people. All right. Let's go to the next one. Somebody get me Hosea 4:6. Good answers, by the way, too, both of y'all. A young man, Isaiah, young man, Elijah. Y'all were right on the money with that. When you came with that the white woman thing, you know what it is. So always remember that too, because believe me, you can be, the same things can happen to you. If you're not paying attention, and one can run up on you and try to convince you that she's supposed to be for you or something like that, and you're not supposed to fall for that, and it's against the law anyway. But go ahead.
You said Hosea 4:6.
Mm-hmm.
All right. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee.
All right. My people, Israel, are destroyed, ruined for a lack of knowledge. And that's what the topic was, lack of knowledge. That lack of knowledge, of course, is that you are the children of God, Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, and you have a decree, rules, laws, a constitution, that Bible. That is for you, and it's only for you. And because you don't know it, and because you don't, seek out your God, you are destroyed. And that's why I said, you're destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Keep going.
Thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
Thou hast what?
Has rejected knowledge.
And that sounds like when you tell somebody something like, hey, we're not supposed to be celebrating Christmas. Oh man, I'm just doing it for the kids, man. I'm just doing it for the kids. Oh, we don't celebrate Halloween. Oh man, ain't nothing wrong with dressing up, man. It's just, we're just having fun. Everybody's having fun. You know what I mean? God says that we're not supposed to eat pork, crab, shrimp, or lobster. Oh man, pork. They say the white man say pork is the new delicacy. It's the new white meat, right? Guess what? Read that again.
Thou hast rejected knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
I will also reject thee.
I will also what?
Reject thee.
I will also what?
Reject thee.
So when the priests and prophets of the Ashik come to you and say, "Hey, listen here, brother. You know what I mean? We ain't supposed to be eating no pork. We ain't supposed to be celebrating no holidays. Okay? You reject the knowledge. So the Most High is going to do what?
Reject thee.
See? Keep going.
That thou shalt be no priest to me,
Mm-hmm.
seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children.
Forget what?
Thy children.
See? You see that? And now that this is, there's so many verses in this Bible that explains why we're in the situations we're in. I mean, you got to know by now. We've been doing this for weeks. You've been, getting, taught these type of things for a while now. But if you see it, it's repetitive over and over and over again. The scriptures completely tell you who you are, what's happening to you, and why it's happening to you. If you don't know by now, you just don't know, right? Not keeping God's laws have destroyed you. You know what I mean? Not you know what I mean? Our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. You are the Israelites. You are the chosen people of God, and you have laws to keep. All right. Christ was the sacrifice for you. Christ, died on the cross and gave you, and allowed you to have grace and mercy so you can get back to the Father. But you want to keep sinning. It's like spitting on Christ's grave. It's like you're saying Christ died so you can keep sinning. And of course, Christ didn't say that. He said out of his own mouth to a lady who, and you'll see that later, the lady who was caught in adultery. He forgave her, but he told her to sin no more. You understand? You can't keep sinning and think that things are going to go well with you. All right. Okay. So again, blacks and Hispanics are destroyed because we forgot our God. All right. We forgot his laws. All right. We can't continue to eat pork, crab, shrimp, lobster, smoke weed. You know what I mean? Have sex with whores. You can't continue to do these things. You know what I mean? Like, you're breaking laws, right? A black man will smoke a blunt and get stupid and crazy and be out of his mind and then go kill his brother or his sister or beat up his woman, in the house because he's high and not in his right frame of mind. Or his sister, she go out to the club, she get drunk, throw back shot to shot, get high, and then she sees some man that she never knew in her life, hook up with him, go home, have sex with him, get pregnant, and then 9 months later, when the baby's due, she thinks that's the father, but she probably did that more than one time, so she don't know who the father is. But then she gave birth to the baby, and then what she gonna do? Sue the man for child support. Meanwhile, you was in the damn club, drunk and high out your mind, and met some stranger and just slept with him the first night you made him, first night you met him. But then now you want to have the baby and then go sue a man for child support, who probably ain't even the right father. You see what I'm saying? But that's how we're destroyed, and we have a lack of knowledge of our laws, right? We continue to do what? Celebrate man-made holidays, right? Even though Christmas is a no. Halloween's a no. 4th of July is a no. You 4th of July come around, niggas want to pull out the grill, right? Let's pull the grill out. You know what I'm saying? Let's blaze up the weed. You know what I mean? Let's eat this pig. This pork Christmas. All these holidays. That's what we do. You want to eat pork, crab, shrimp, lobster, and for the life of me, I can understand why people think that crab legs it's like some type of extravagant meal. Like, even in the world when brothers used to eat it, I might have ate it once or twice in my life. Like, I didn't think it was nothing. It was nothing to me. This is before I was in the truth, years ago. But it was never nothing to me. But once I found out that I wasn't supposed to eat it, I never touched it again. But it was easy for me because I never liked it anyway. But why do our people think that Chinese food or pork, shrimp, lobster is like some type of unbelievable meal or something? Like you're on top if you eat some crab legs. You ever see somebody? Just ask somebody.
I know what you're
Ask somebody who eats crab legs. They just act like there's nothing on earth like crab legs. You ever see the process of how to eat them? You take it. The things are so. From what I saw, I maybe there's different types, but you got to crack them open. You got to fight this thing, crack it open just to get this little piece of meat in it. It's like the littlest thing, and you eat that, and then you're just like, oh, this is heaven. Like, I just can't, I don't understand. You can't tell me no damn crab legs is better than chicken. You cannot tell me. There's nothing better than chicken. You have nothing better than chicken. To me, anyway. But I don't understand that. And pork. What is you telling me you can't put down pork? You like pork better than beef? You like pork better than chicken? You like pork better than fish? You like pork better than lamb? I mean, come on, man. And then if you don't, when you stop eating it, because we haven't ate it in years, you notice the smell of it? Like the smell of it just stinks. Like it just, and then you just see people eating it, you see like, but this is the thing. If you actually know the habitation or like what the habitat of a pig, you will begin to understand why you can't eat it. They eat garbage. Do you know back in the I wish one of y'all could find it for me. And like in the early 1900s, the streets would be filled with garbage. They would take pigs and let them run through the street to eat all the garbage. This is a true thing. That's how that was the sanitation back. Like, now today they have machines, they have people to do it when that. But the sanitation back then was they would take herds of pigs and just let them run through the street to eat all the garbage. And think about that. Whatever they eat is what you're eating. That's why you understand that the Bible says you cannot eat pork. All right, you can't eat pork. I don't have it right now, but so again, and then Christmas, right? You want to celebrate Christmas. You think you're celebrating Jesus' birthday. First of all, we know Christ wasn't born around that time. You know what I mean? But anyway, you're celebrating Nimrod's birthday. You know what I mean? Thanksgiving, you think you sell your God out for a dry ass turkey. Excuse my language. A dry turkey sandwich. You know what I mean? And some swine, some pig. You know what I mean? But it's the day that the conquistadors or the white man murdered. You know what I mean? The Indians. That's really what you're celebrating. Go ahead. You got something to say?
Murdered, raped, spread diseases.
Right, exactly. This is what you're celebrating on Thanksgiving. That's what you're celebrating, right? You still got grown men celebrating Easter. It's funny, right? But just wait till Easter comes around again. What you gonna see? Demos of big giant eggs everywhere. You should at my slavery. Grown men, Christmas time. You see grown men walking around the garage with Santa hats on. Women walking around with Easter bunny ears on their head. I'll be looking at these people like, you can't be that weak. Like, it's not enough to celebrate it. You got to put the whole outfit on. You gotta be in it. You got to be in the spirit. That's what they mean. That's what they say when they be in the spirit. When you not only, you ever like when the general breaks it down, like he says, like when you out of like a game, a basketball game or a football game, what do people do? They put on the jersey, they got the hat, they got some people paint their face and all that. You know what I mean? Steelers fans are, all right, don't even get me started about them. They're like the craziest. But so same thing with these holidays. As soon as the holiday come around, you see a brother, he got a Santa hat on. He walking around acting like he's Santa. You know what I mean? He'll really go and stuff something in his shirt to make his belly look bigger. Like just think about it. This is a grown men doing this. Yeah, grown men who's supposed to be, masculinity, the symbol of masculinity, walking around with an Easter bunny ears on their head. Like, I'm telling you, man, this is real. This is what really happens. And you think about that. How do you think the Most High Yahweh was looking at that? Like, look at my creation. Look what they become. They're acting like the other nations. They're acting like heathens around them. This is not my people. These are not my children. Why would he protect you? You're not listening to him. What are you going to protect you for? You want to be like the damn devil, the white man. You know what I mean? You want to be like other nations. You want to follow what they're doing. You're not his people. Yeah, and this is why we're in the situation we're in. Halloween. Women want to walk around dressed like witches. I mean, come on, man. You know what I mean? Guys are walking around with a pumpkin head. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It sounds crazy, but it's the truth. You see these things. You see these things. Like this is what we do. In July 4th, American independence. What are we celebrating American independence for? We were still slaves in 1776.
They brought us over.
Say that again?
They brought us over. You're always celebrating something like them as a.
Say that again. I can't. You got to speak into the mic.
Not only did they steal this country, they brought us over here and kept us here for years while we
Right.
celebrate them.
Right. So Independence Day, which is a patriotic day for America, don't have nothing to do with you. When this country was put in, you were still a slave, and they didn't consider you a part of this country. They considered you 3/5 of a man. So what the hell is Independence Day? Is not for you, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. It's not for you. I can't stand to see another black, Hispanic, or Native Indian walking around dressed in flag colors and stuff. That is I think the only thing that's worse than that to me is St. Patrick's Day. When you see a black man walking around with all green on, like a damn leprechaun. Like, I mean, like, why do we want to be like everybody else? Why do you want to be black and be Irish? You come on, man. Who's greater than us? Why do we want to be like them when they're really trying to be like you? I mean, look at the so-called Jewish man. He stole our identity. He wants to be us. But we can't never, I don't know why we don't think that we're the greatest thing to walk earth. I mean, the Most High tells you that. He only knows you of all people. We're his only people. You know what I mean? He loved us over everybody. Esau I hated, but Jacob I love. So if the Most High loves you, the Most High has hair, you know what I mean? His spirit is like a black man. Yahweh has hair like me, you, and you know, young man Isaiah, young man Elijah. So if Christ looks like you, the Most High is you in spirit, why the hell do we want to look like the damn devil? I just think about that. You're God. You're in the image of your God. So what does that look like? You trying to be like this nothing, this spittle that they call him. And second, what's that in the Apocrypha? He called him spit, but we want to be like them. I just don't understand it. Black man, Hispanic man, Indian man. I just don't. And I know when you're in the world, you might not be, onto these things, but that's why we're here to teach you. And that's why, to ask you if you can to command the journey of harm. This is why, we teach what we do, Okay, so it's like, again, we refuse to realize we have a God. We have a God that we are his children, all right? And we have law, statutes, and commands to follow. And there's just no other way around it. You're going to have to do them. You know what I mean? You can beat around the bush and everything, but you're an Israelite, and he's going to punish you for your iniquities, period. You can keep, not listening to the laws, statutes, and commands, but it's not going to go well with you, black man, period. Let me get Amos 3:1. All right, Amos 3:1. Moving it through it very nicely, guys, very nicely. It's going pretty fast, I think. Amos 3:1.
There we go.
Go ahead.
Book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel.
Oh, who?
Children of Israel.
White man.
Nah, children of Israel.
Chinese man.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Japanese man.
Arab.
Nope. Children of Israel. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Keep going.
Against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying.
Because he brought us out by the land of Egypt, which is synonymous with, remember, Egypt, I always think bondage. Yeah, there's a physical or a place called Egypt that they call, but that was where we were in bondage. He brought us out of there. Now keep going.
You only have I known.
Who?
You only have I known.
No, God loves everybody. He knows everybody.
No.
You only have I known.
Is this the Bible we're reading?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure this is the Bible we're reading?
Amos, chapter 3, verse 2.
Go ahead.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
Of all the what?
Families of the earth.
That means everybody. Families of the earth, Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, the Moabites,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Ammonites, Edomites, East Indians, Arabs. God said what?
You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
Okay, just like you are my sons, right? Go ahead.
Therefore, I will punish you.
Just like I will punish you if you don't do right in this house, right? Or if you don't listen to what I'm telling you to do, right? As my sons, right? Okay, go say that again.
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Right. So that'll answer your question. Why people always say, well, why does this always happen to us? Why does this happen to me? The white man gets away with it. That man gets away with it. No. You know why? Because you have a God that watches over you. You have a father that cares about you. And if I care about you, I'm going to do what?
You're going to judge us.
Yeah, I'm going to punish you. And I'm going to, because why would I punish you? Why?
Because you want us to learn.
Right. I want you to do right, to come back and do the right thing. So if I let you keep making mistakes, you'll what? You'll never learn. You'll keep making mistakes until you do what?
Learn.
Say it again.
Learn.
Nope. Until you what?
Keep making mistakes until we fall in sin.
And what could happen even worse?
Die.
Right. You can harm yourself and it can be fatal. So as a father, if I love you and I care about you, I'm going to look at your deeds, I'm going to judge them, and I'm going to give you a proper punishment for what you did in order for you to come back to me, or not to me, but to the Most High. I'm just using our relationship as an example. But that's what the Most High does. He wants you to get your stuff together. He's going to punish you and and judge you in order for you to come back around to him. I mean, for real, the Most High is merciful, man, because a lot of things that we do, he could punish us and not give us a chance. He could let it, he could let the death angel come and take you right now because you don't want to listen. But because he's a merciful God and he shows mercy to his people and he loves us, he'll punish you and allow you to fix that mistake and get right with him. That's a merciful God. He's the only God. All right. Isaiah 3:2. Isaiah 3:2.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
Unless this ad wants to get in my way.
Salakia.
Yeah.
I got it. I'm blessed with Apple today. Isaiah 3:2.
Mm-hmm.
The mighty man and the man of war.
3:12.
3:12.
Mm-hmm. Read it nice and loud and kind of slow it down just a little bit.
3:12.
Mm-hmm.
As for my people.
As for my people.
Children are their oppressors, and
Mm-hmm.
women rule over them.
Women rule over them, okay? This is talking about your people, right? Slave. So, it's detrimental to you. Period. It's not just community, whoever it is. If they're teaching you anything different than what's in this Bible, that's what it was about. It's admitted to get people into a burn house, right? You got leadership like Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey, the guy course. Now, Yeah, you're right, Elijah. To kill black business. It, for what? What you think? It's going so much. It's the same thing. Am I remember happened in the NFL? Like when it's close, you're getting close. Yeah, that's what. Once Roger Goodell, you know what I mean? He raised Jay-Z and Jay-Z. He's people not, he celebrities because they're rich because they did what? You into lie to you. Yeah, I mean, and Jay-Z, I just want you to be happy. Of course, it says, a man should be with a, and a woman love you. God can't, you know, as a man, so we got two more. Give me First John 5:3.
John.
John 5:3. All right. So,
Oh God, that we keep His commandments.
right.
His commandments are not grievous.
Right. For this, Steve brought up, for this, we keep His commandments. You you're not celebrating Christmas. You don't, you know, it's live for us. And right? So, oh, good. That's how I treat you. That's what this is about. What the Most High does. Read that again for them. So, you know, there's a, you might now you pour that force. You have to have cake on your you the other day. Your birthday. They had invited you, right? I was born June 14th. no day until you get to and then you're going to wonder why you're suffering something like what is keeping up? What is home? You must and do away with it when you that's forget it. Keep goes and commands. You can't sit here, put the black glove on, the Black Panther, and think you want to outshoot the white man. You see this right. And the come in. Listen to God's law, statutes, and commands, and the Most High will take care of that. The whole matter.
Fear God and keep His commandments.
Do what?
Fear God and keep His
One more time.
Fear God and keep His commandments.
Right. Go ahead.
This is the whole duty
Man, you might have this is fear God and keep